Welcome back to the Force 9's YouTube channel. Welcome back to a special episode of an Andalusian adventure with Sevilla on Football Manager 2017. Although I say with Sevilla, we're no longer with Sevilla because this episode we are going to look ahead a few years and see what's happened to Sevilla since we ended our series. So as you can see, I'm unemployed. I've resigned from the job. It's June 13th, 2020. The Euros have just started. And yeah, we are now unemployed. So what we're going to do is simulate 1 year into the future. First of all, we're going to go maybe as far as 5 years over the next two videos. Today we're going to do up to a 2022, and then in the next video we'll go all the way up to 2025 and see what's happened 5 years into the future. So we're going to see how the team and how the players have progressed, see if we've picked up any silverware on the way. So let's jump into it. The first thing we're going to do is, I've already done the simulations, but I haven't looked at anything. So first of all, I'm going to load up the 2021 file and we'll see how Sevilla did in their first season without me as manager. Okay, so here we are, 6th of June 2021. I think the Champions League has just been finished. It has. Real Madrid won it, so nice to see it wasn't an English team for change, although Liverpool did make a final, 2 finals in a row. But this is about Sevilla, so let's see how they got on. Let's find the team and see where we are. So it says there they finished in 3rd place again. That's a good finish. So same as last season, we finished 3rd. They managed a 3rd place finish again. They've got a hot prospect called Juan Jimenez. Now the issue with me not being manager is that I've got attribute masking on, which means that players that we won't have seen, we aren't able to see their attributes. So this 15-year-old, we can't see anything about him, so we don't know if he's any good or not. So that's a bit of an annoying one. But you know, if you want to try and make a realistic save, you're not going to know everything about a player, are you? So you wouldn't have the attribute masking disabled. That's why I had it disabled. Sorry, that's why I had it enabled. So it does mean that we can't see all the attributes of some of these new players. But he's a hot prospect, so he must be good. So it was a 3rd place finish. Let's have a look at their fixtures then. Let's see how they did. Won their first 2. Any big results against the big teams? They lost 3-1 at home to Real Madrid. Barcelona, a 2-2 draw at home. And then away, it was a 2-0 defeat and a 2-1 defeat. So no massive results against the big teams. Although they ended very strongly. They only lost 1 of their last 9 games, which is good. And that was against Barcelona. So a nice strong end to the season. Had a bit of a stumbling block in January, much like I did quite a lot. Copa del Rey, they went out to Atletico in the quarterfinals on away goals. That's unfortunate. The Champions League, it looks like they got through the group stage and then they met Man City in the last 16. Surprise, surprise, they got knocked out there again. And they lost, 5-1 on aggregate. In the group, they had Besiktas, they had Olympiacos and Inter Milan. That's a pretty easy group. I mean, Inter Milan, I think, are quite good. Let's actually see. Can we see how we did in that group? So they finished in 2nd place, only 8 points. So bit of a disappointing run in the group, but they did manage to get through to the last 16, where they faced Man City. Let's look for some big results then. Let's see what sort of results we had. Not a great deal of massive wins. Oh, here we go. So there was a 6-1 that was in the Copa del Rey, so there's that. Alejandro Romero scored some goals. New player, don't recognise him. 4-1 win over Alaves. 4-0 win over Olympiacos away from home. That's a good result. Golden Eagle got a goal. That's another new player. A few 3-0s in there. But yeah, some big wins. What about defeats? Any like heavy defeats? 3-0 was the heaviest against Real Sociedad. So little Gerard Moreno scored, former player of ours. So he's still scoring goals for fun. So we haven't actually looked at who's in charge yet. Let's do that. It's Paulo Bento, a Portuguese manager who was last at Olympiacos. So that's interesting. He beat his old team 4-0 in Greece. He was also manager at Cruzeiro, who was also the Portuguese national team manager for a while. So he's there. I'm assuming he's the only manager there's been. I'm guessing there's not been another one. No, there hasn't. So he's been in charge for almost a year. He's he's had a good start, 3rd place finish, not too bad at all. So as far as transfers go, there's a few new players in here. Now some of them I bought. For example, Alejandro Romero from Villarreal and Jan Vertonghen from Spurs were players that I brought in before I left, so I kind of set them up for that. Romero's got a goal, so that's good. The German that we signed as well is not joining until next season because of his age, so he won't join for a while. As far as new players, we've got Eduardo Goldeniga from Atletico Madrid, a centre-back who looks pretty good. Did he have a good season? No, he did. He got 35 appearances, most of them starts. Averaged over 7, so that's not too bad. Good season for him. Andre Silva from Maritimo, very cheap player, centre-back, 19. Again, we can't see a great deal of his attributes. He went on loan to Gijón for a while, only played 2 games for us. So, very much a future prospect maybe. John Guidetti from AC Milan, complete forward. Doesn't look like he's done a lot. 6 goals in 16 appearances. Tarek Boganovic from Sindelich, about £600,000 it was, as a goalkeeper, young goalkeeper. He played 1 game, got a 6.8, won a league game. And Lucas Kotraba from Jablonec, £4.6 million, another centre-back. So why have we got so many centre-backs? That's pretty mental. He played 17 games, got a 6.8, so pretty average. But there's quite a few defenders in there, so it makes me wonder what he's done with the old ones. So let's have a look at the outs then. No real surprises in the free transfers. No one here that was really going to stand out. Mark Gual did well for our B team, but he was never going to progress to the senior team. Mariano, of course, went to Newcastle on a free transfer. Luciano Vietto went to Marseille, sold for £15.5 million, could rise to 21. Scored plenty of goals for us. He got, I think it was 27 goals in all competitions, 27 last season. He scored 10 league goals for Marseille, 19 overall, so not a bad turnover. So Vietto's gone. Monreal's also gone to Athletic Bilbao, so left back has gone. So I'm wondering if we went with the 3 at the back. I don't think he played fullbacks, but we'll have to wait and see. Monreal went to Athletic Bilbao. Where's he gone? Of course, they'd signed him because he's Basque. That's not really a surprise there. Had a very good season there, actually. He did really well. Rami's been released on a free transfer. 35 years old, gone to Nice. Strangely, he was released in the August. Okay, so overall, let's see how people did then. So, in terms of goals, who got the most goals? It was Iheanacho, who managed to get 20 goals. That's not too bad at all. 17 in the league. He did really well with Kelechi. Well done. Arbi Campaz got 18 goals. Well done, Arbi. Had a really good year. The 20-year-old Colombian, rather, scored 18 goals on loan, rather, actually. So, there you go. He got 3 for us in the league, 5 overall last year. He's gone on a loan to Celta and he's done really well. So quite a few goals I'm seeing there actually, which is not a bad thing at all. Assists, I can straight away see Franco Vazquez was the best. Looks like Franco had a really good year. He's had some really poor runner forms for me in the past, but this year he looks like he's been like a consistent player in that cam role. He's done really well. 7.58 average rating, best year he's had so far for Sevilla, so that's good. Man of the matches, he got 14 as well. So the best average rating, it was Franco Vazquez. Toure not far behind. David Proper also getting a respectable rating there. Discipline-wise, were we bad at all? Not really, no. Goldeniga got 8 yellow cards. A handful of red cards. So that's not really too concerning. So, you know, the team have done well. Let's have a look at the best 11 then. Let's see what sort of team it was. So, This is the overall best 11. So let's have a look at this past season. What is it? So it is a 4-2-3-1. So the best 11 are Rulli in goal. Diego Gonzalez playing at left back, which is his most natural position and his best position. But I found him playing better, much better, as a defensive midfielder. But he's been moved to left back, which I'm fine with. Playing alongside Goldeniga, Carrizo and Toure in defence. Captain Carrizo still there. 34 years old now, is he? 32. And, you know, he did well as well, 22 appearances. The midfield, Roque Mesa returned from his loan. Did he do well? Not really. 28 appearances, average 6.37. So, not the greatest of seasons for Mesa. Half of those were off the bench as well. He's playing alongside Proper, and then Vazquez. Both Vazquezes in the team. Vitolo on the left and Iheanacho up top. On the bench, Boganovic, Iborra, Carmona, Juanmi, Guidetti, Kotraba and Kagawa round out the subs bench. We actually weren't that far behind Barcelona and Real Madrid in the league table. 5 points behind Barcelona and 9 behind Real Madrid. 8 clear of Athletic in 4th place. So yeah, a good season. I'm happy with that. So first season didn't go too badly. So what we're going to do now, I'm going to load up the 2022 file and we'll see what happens in the next year. 5th of June 2022. Another final for Liverpool. That's their third in a row. Bayern Munich won it 3-0 the final. So Liverpool seem to be really, really good for some reason. Again, Sevilla, where did they finish this season? It's another third place finish. So, you know, consistently consistent. Paulo Bento still in charge. Really has become the key player. Campaz is a hot prospect. May have returned to the club, I'm not quite sure. So third place again, not too bad at all. And the table's a bit different as well. Atletico takes second place, only by 1 point. Real Madrid, 96 points, win the league. Barcelona finishing in 4th place, 9 points behind us. So a bit of a poor season for Barcelona there. Another third place finish, not too bad at all. Let's have a look at the matches. Now, just to make this a bit easier, I'm going to just filter out everything except for La Liga and see what happens. So here we go. Not a bad start at all. They lost to Malaga, but, you know, unbeaten for quite a while there. 2-1 defeat to Real Madrid. Got a draw against Barcelona in the second half of the season. Lost to Real Madrid and then beat Barcelona at Nou Camp. That's a good result. Vázquez and Vitolo scoring for us there. So not too bad at all there. Again, a really bad run. Well, 3 losses in a row there in April. Lost 3-1 to Bilbao. Won the last 3 games. So again, it doesn't look like there's a massive amount of big wins here, but let's have a look again. Biggest win was some wins by 3 there, some 3-0s and some 4-1s. Only 6 defeats in the league overall, not too bad at all. Let's have a look at the Copa del Rey if we can. Here we go. They got to a final. So, it's, you know, they won it. They won the Copa del Rey 2022. He's got some silverware, Paulo Bento. So it was Bilbao in the final. Barcelona in the 5th round. That's a really strange time to get Barcelona. Usually the top teams are separated that early on. But we did knock out Barcelona on away goals. Beat Villarreal. Beat Celta Vigo. And then faced Bilbao in the final 1-1-2-1. They had a sending off as well. So that played into our hands. So yeah, it's silverware. That's good. As for the Champions League, we did get to a quarter-final at last. So that's the furthest they've ever got. The last time they got to a quarter-final was very early in the competition's history, in like the 1950s or 1960s. Since then, they can't get past the knockout stages, the first knockout round. They've got to a quarter-final. They did lose to PSG quite heavily, 5-1. But it's a quarter-final, that's good. The group had Sporting Lisbon, Malmo and Juventus. A difficult group. They lost 2 games, drew 1. And then that got them a tie against Man United in the last 16. Managed to beat them 3-2 at Old Trafford. So yeah, a good campaign there. Quarter-final, not too bad at all. So here's the group then. You can see Juventus only losing the 1 game. Sevilla managing 3 wins, 1 draw and 2 defeats. And they're 10 points, second place. And they managed to get through. They've got Man United. So that's good. Good campaign there. What have we done in terms of transfers then? So Aiden came in, of course, £400,000, the guy that we signed. He went down to the B team, didn't really do a great deal there. Martin Rasmussen from Ebsberg, Danish midfielder, looks very good actually. So, you know, he looks like he might have done a good season. Didn't do too badly, 34 appearances, 6 goals, 7.06 average, not too bad. Domingo Soria from Hercules, 21-year-old, is another centre-back. We can't see a lot about him. Santiago Francini from Boca Juniors, £5.25 million for the right-back. He didn't do very well. Outgoings, so Jan Vertonghen retired. Doesn't look like he might have had a lot of impact on Sevilla. 12 appearances. And then he retired, so that's 1 season we got out of him. Roque Mesa went to Toulouse on a free transfer. Duarte went to Villarreal on a free transfer. General Ruiz went to Girona. Not a player that I really use very much. No huge departures there. I'm wrong. Almami Touré went to Paris Saint-Germain for £36 million. £36 million. Had 2 very good seasons because he broke his ankle when we signed him, like not long after we signed him. Managed 4 appearances. And then, if you give him a full season, it looks like he can do very well for you, and well enough to get a £36 million price tag on him. So PSG have him now. That's the biggest sale we've had so far. Other than that, it's just a few loans, nothing massive. Santa Maria went on loan, Campaz went on loan again. So the best performers in the squad then, let's have a look at this. So Geronimo really played 56 games in this season, that's huge. Top scorer was Iheanacho with 25 goals. Campaz on loan again, got plenty of goals for his loan team. 14 for Vitolo and for Vázquez, who had a very good season again. Lucas Vazquez got 12. John Guidetti came up with 9. Juanmi got 9. Rasmussen got a few, so that's good. Assists, Proper got 17. Proper got the most assists, that's interesting. Only 2 goals. Franco Vazquez with 15 assists. Vitolo with 7. Not too many man of the match awards. They were shared a bit more evenly, but Iheanacho with the most with 7. Discipline-wise, Rasmussen got 16 yellow cards, also 2 reds. Only other red card, though, was for Captain Carrizo, so that's good discipline in that respect, but Rasmussen just with a few too many yellow cards there. Best performer of the season, in his one appearance, was Tarek Boganovic, got a 7.8, and that was as a goalkeeper, so that might have been in a cup game or something. But, you know, for a player that played plenty of games, Franco Vazquez averaged 7.34. So, you know, the best 11, you'd imagine it's not too different. 4-2-3-1, Rasmussen and Proper in midfield now. Goldeniga and Kotraba at the back. Torre and Rica on the sides. And the front 4 the same. So there you go. So really, he's not doing much differently from what we did. Very similar tactic. So it's, you know, it's not too much different. And, you know, you can see why, because they're still in 3rd place. And they have been for 2 seasons after we left. So, you know, they're being consistent. They're doing really well. They're continuing to qualify for the Champions League. So that's really good. They're doing well. And they won the trophy this year. So we're going to leave it there for today. But in the next video, we're going to go all the way to 2025. Have a look at the next 3 years just in like one big chunk and see how they did. And yeah, hopefully, you know, they can continue to do as well or maybe even better. Maybe get another league title under their wing, but we'll have to wait and see. But that's going to do it for today. If you've enjoyed this, please leave a like down below. I like to do this at the end of my series. I did it with Parma, I did it with Everton, and I've done it with Sevilla. I didn't do it with Swindon, not sure why. But if you did enjoy this video, please do leave a like down below because it really helps the channel. If you enjoyed the video, leave a like and it'll, you know, people will see it, especially if you're linked to your Twitter. So yeah, make sure to do that. Leave any comments as well because, you know, I like reading them. Been getting a lot more recently, I like that, so please keep them coming. And of course, if you want to see videos as and when they turn up on YouTube, hit that subscribe button and I will see you in the next video where we're going to have a look a little bit further ahead in Sevilla's future. I say history, history's in the past. Sevilla's future, so hopefully you will join me then. In the meantime, thank you for watching and I'll see you soon. Goodbye.